And then the man on the street also needs to have that. And I do what I was saying. That song Fela sang was in the late 70s. Water, light, food, house. In 2013, we have a housing shortage of at least 1 million houses every single year for the next 20 years. You need to build 1 million houses every single year for the next 20 years before we can say that, oh, people can have shelter. So how do you go from where we are today to where we want to be? How many years? We don't know yet, because there needs to be some think tank that sits down and says, okay, look, how long do we, if we go on X, how long will it take us to get to Y? We need to start, first of all, by educating the leadership of this group, or whatever group it is. What do you educate them on? You educate them on how to build the people up, first of all. Forget, like Paul said, he's not looking for a political position. There are people who we can groom to hold political office. We should groom to hold political office. We don't have a choice. Because, I'll give you an example. I had some discussions with a group called Concerned Professionals in the days when there was Nadeko and all of them. They were also doing on the professionals angle, but they never looked at any one of them running for a political office, except for one of them who never succeeded. Unfortunately, for him anyway. I don't know about for us, because I really don't know if he will have been the best, but that's a discussion for another day. But there needs to be a focus on what do we train our people for. Then you would have to train some people to run for office. You'd have to train some people to train the people. You'd have to train some people to work in the hinterlands. You get so? You can say whatever you want to say, but if Asari Dokubo goes to Abuja, collects his own press alert, and goes back to Otuoke and all those other places in Bayelsa, and gives them 2,000, 5,000. Think about it. You gather 1,000 people together and give them 5,000 each. It's 5 million naira. Up the ante. Make it 10,000 people. Now, those people, let's be realistic. You give one man who's got a family of 7 children or something, you give him 5,000 naira. He probably has not seen 5,000 naira in 2 months. It's the reality that we live in our country now. There are people who have not seen 5,000 naira in 3 months. So in one day, in less than 1 hour, one man comes off the streets, gives him 5,000 naira. Him and the 7 children in his house will go and wash that man's car. They will wash his clothes. They will do whatever it is. Now, maybe not literally wash his car. But what I'm saying is, they will do whatever it is for him to come back and do it another day. They may not see for another 4 years, but on that day, they don't know that. So, we have a challenge to be able to go and tell the people there. And you can't tell them just by someone like me coming to speak. And all manner of accents jumbled up together. You need to go there and show them something. And that's why I agree to a certain extent with what you're saying, because it is the reality of where we are. You cannot tell someone who is hungry that, look, forget about these people who are stealing your money. He cannot listen to you on an hungry stomach. He cannot. So we need to find ways and means to do that. And you feed the man, you educate him a little, you're making that change. It is a long, hard, slow hug of a road. But, like I said, the first stage is we need to find the people who will be the leaders and who will also be the guys who will teach. Hatreds and attitudes have to be gotten rid of. You cannot afford it. We have too much at stake to not like one another. Thank you. I turned 45 in April. My grandmother's first daughter of Albert Macaulay. And one of the things that she used to do was that she would take us to her cousins who were not so comfortable. And we would go on a monthly basis every month. It started when there were just 5 of us grandchildren. I think the first time I went I was 5 years old or so. Go like 5 cars or so, go together. I would go spend time with, sometimes spend the whole day. And the essence was just, a grandma's message was this: you're all the same. They didn't choose how this thing happened, but you're all the same. Every one of you is one and the same. And we grew up like that. We didn't know any different. We had parties, Christmas parties, Easter, and everybody was together. So we've got a number of things that we've had done over the years. One of the major ones which we did was the accident and emergency ward in Louth at some point in time, because we have a lot of affinity with Louth. Three members of my family were professors. One of them got to be the vice chancellor of the University of Lagos. He was medical director in Louth as well, and 2 others worked also in Louth. So we did a lot of work renovating some things in Louth, and the accident and emergency ward there we did. And then when I turned 45, I said to myself that, okay, I wanted to do something. I don't like throwing parties. I've never done it. I ran away when I turned 40. My wife had planned all manner of things. And 2 days before, I was on a plane to London before she knew that I was on a plane. So I wasn't interested in it. Anyway, so when I turned 45, I said to myself, but before, I said to myself that I wanted to do something. And one aspect that I thought of was there are too many areas in this country that haven't been touched. And so I asked a few friends to do me a favor and do a study on the 45 poorest local governments in the country. And what I said we would do was to raise, at the very least, $1 million to do toilets and boreholes in each one of those local governments. The most challenging part of it, nobody wants to go and help me do any toilet or borehole in the north. Terrible thing, but what can a man do? So I may be going to carry bonbon and cement in those places. But anyway, the purpose of sharing that is not just to tell you a story, but the purpose of it is to say that, look, there are different things that different people can do. I've been part of groups who have built school halls in different places. And we don't do Lagos normally because there's too many people doing Lagos. It doesn't make sense. So when I see a lot of people bringing up statistics and they come and tell us, oh, they built 16,000 houses in the country in the last 2 years, I know it's a lie because I've been around this country. There are no 16,000 houses being built by any government in this country. And the purpose of all that, like I said, is it is possible over time. Now let me give you statistics. I want to do 45 local governments this year. If I do it, and I do it for each year that I turn for the next 10 years, we would have done renovations on every single local government in this country. It's not that difficult. It's not. The accident and emergency ward that we did in Louth cost myself and my cousins at the time, because when they quote us ridiculous figures, it's not that difficult. It's a lie. It is very simple and it's very possible. We can actually do it in this country. It takes a mindset of I can do it, and I will do it, and I will find people who will work with me, and we'll do it. That's all it takes. Thank you again.